Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. That was quite an interesting one for parents who have been looking at their children getting prepared for employment in the workspace. Lagos State government is pioneering a wonderful program called the Lagos State Comprehensive Program. It's a good curriculum. I must say kudos to them for the good work. All right, let me just go forward here and tell you what we're talking about next. On the Bumper Breakfast, we discuss women and children issues and child issues. There's something called child's rights. Quite a number of parents do not even know that it exists because they're not sure that their children have rights. But I will tell you, your child has rights. What rights now as a person, as a parent, as a father, as a mother? What rights do you think your child has? You get to share that with me. 080-6473-8133. Does your child have rights? Can your child, abroad they say children can report you to the police and then police can come arrest parents for maltreating their children, for doing whatever it is against their children. But now it's a totally different ballgame here in Nigeria. If you beat your child, it's abuse abroad. We're getting to that point also in Nigeria gradually as we continue to embrace the issues relating to gender-based violence and, of course, domestic abuse of the girl child or the boy child. There are so many issues that are coming up. Children are being abused on a daily basis. So, yes, what rights do you think your child has? 080-6473-8133 is the number to call. I'd rather not talk politics today because, we don't want to have a heart attack. But let the APC just finish what they're doing, and then we'll know whoever emerges. 080-6473-8133 is the number to call, and we're simply talking about Child's Rights Act. What rights do you think your child has? Can you imagine, as a parent, that your child reports you to the police? Can you imagine it? What rights do you think your child has? Do you even think children can be abused by their parents? And I'm not talking about sexual abuse here. I'm talking about domestic abuse, physical abuse. Do you think children can be abused by their parents? Don't forget, you can send a WhatsApp or SMS to us on the number 080-6473-8133. And I'm basically just asking you to contribute. Tell me your views, tell me your mind. Can you abuse your child? How do you treat issues within your space? Are you the parent who beats up your child simply because he poured water on the floor? Do you think that connotes what we call domestic abuse? Are you the kind of parent that because your child took something that doesn't belong to him, you want to put a mark on his body so that he would remember next time never to take anything that belongs to him? That's also it. 080-6473-8133. 080-6473-8133. That's the number to call. We'll take a quick break. When we come back from this break, we'll open up the phone lines, and of course, you get to join the conversation.
Who was and is Here in Africa, we're full up with phenomenal stories that make you go. Stories like brilliant finish. Stories that make you feel. So rise up and live your stories. With Niger's best shows and much more.
Who the best? It's you.
Get 1 month of DSTV Compact and HD decoder and dish for only 14,900 Naira. And make every story your moment with DSTV Nigeria.
Shine your eyes, make you no carry last. Kukoro tonja for be a follower. Anytime morning is shining, tito the fire, make you the shine your eyes. Banu saw, my penny in the saw. Talk to yourself and listen to yourself. For yo, you talk to what I want when you come put to me for trouble, yo. For trouble, yo. Me, I don't care. Waiting and say, who's on a flex out with me when battle there? Your best friend could be your worst enemy, so shine your eye, so shine your eye. Look out on the floor. It's the follower. Anytime morning is shining, so shine your eyes, make you no carry last. Kukoro tonja for it be a follower. Anytime morning is shining, tito the fire, make you the shine your eyes. Oba Oluwa lo le gbani, Araye wan buru. So songo, so songo, so songo. Eyin kule lotawa, ile la se nigbe. Ba ọ̀rẹ́ ni bá rìn, àtẹ̀rámọ́ṣẹ́ ni. Kòkòrò tó ń yàtọ̀, ìdí ẹ̀fọ́ ló wà. Tito the fire, make you the shine.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. Yes, we're here and we're talking straight about Children and Child Rights Act. Quite a number of states in Nigeria have not domesticated Child's Right Act, and it simply means that you cannot prosecute anyone, within the confines of those states based on those rights, just the rules of human rights according to the Constitution. But when you domesticate the Child's Right Act, what it means is that children are now extra protected by what we all know as the Child's Right Act. About 11 states are yet to domesticate that. Some are still struggling with it. Some are not even considering it at all. For now, at least it's not being said that they're considering it. Unfortunately for us, the number of out-of-school children is increasing across the country. The number of children who are being abused domestically, sexually, mentally, psychological abuse of children is also increasing on a daily basis. The number of children who are doing everything possible, to stay sane. Children who have been admitted for depression, children who have been admitted for mental health issues is increasing on a daily basis. Fortunately for us, I'd say it's not a Nigerian thing alone, but the issue of abuse, serial abuse of children, is much more dominant in places where the Child's Rights Act has not been, ratified or domiciled or signed by the government. That's what we're asking you this morning, as a parent, as a guardian, as a man, a woman who has children around you, as a teacher. What right do you think a child has? 08064738133. 08064738133. That's the number to call. Try not to flash the number. Call the number. Let's talk about it. And if you cannot call us, send SMS or WhatsApp to the number on the screen, and we will definitely get right to work. I want to check through some of the messages that we have received so far. Some of those messages include some that said, "My children are my children. They don't have rights." Okay, it looks as if when your children are still living under your roof, you have the feeling that they don't have rights. Please don't forget to send name and location, just maybe Tomi Lagos or Tomi Abuja or Tomi Kaduna, wherever you're watching us from. We apologize, we've not been on UHF for a while, but we are back due to some technical issues, but we're fully back right now, so you can watch us on UHF. You can tell your friends who have missed watching MITV on the UHF channel that our signal is back there. So please do go to our UHF channel and you can watch all of our programs there. 08064738133 is the number to call. What rights do you think your child has? Right, so getting some more messages here, waiting for more messages to drop. But I did say, imagine a situation where a child is trying not to flash the line. Imagine a situation where a child takes something that doesn't belong to him. We've seen situations where parents, put a mark on a child's body and they say, I will put a mark on your body. Whenever, in fact, so you grow old. Whenever you see this mark, even you will never take anything. I'll put the mark on your body so that you too can show your children and tell your children, it was because I did this that my parents gave me that mark. These are some of the things that we hear from our parents. Unfortunately for us, these are also some of the things that abuse, that connote abuse, according to the Child's Rights Act. You put a mark on your child's body, you put a blade, you put a mark with a blade, and then you put pepper on top of it, simply because they say the child stole meat, or the child is too stubborn, or sometimes they say the child brought something home from school that doesn't belong to the child. There are so many factors that has been discovered that can be responsible for children going out of place like that, for children who misbehave, or for children who have bad behavior. So many issues, so many things can be said to be the cause of that kind of child. What exactly are you doing as a parent to make sure that doesn't happen? What exactly are you doing as a parent to make sure that you protect your child from such behavior? And peradventure the child behaves badly, what are you doing as a parent to correct the child? Are you one of those parents who has different types of cane in the house, especially the ones that can damage the body of the child? So many pictures have made it to social media in recent times where they would say that so person put a mark on the child's body. One person beat a child so much that the entire back of that child was peeled off. Somebody also had this one where they beat up this child so badly that the child she could barely sleep, she could not do anything, and the authorities had to step in. Those are some of the ways that we abuse children, all in the name of being the best, making sure that they do not misbehave, making sure that they do not, do the wrong things. 08064738133 is the number to call, SMS, or WhatsApp. All right. This one says, okay, sorry, it's Wednesday. We don't talk politics on a day like this. We try to stay away from politics and focus more on the people. Let's see what will happen with politics. Whoever is declared winner will let you know as soon as that is done. But for now, we're not talking politics on the show. Thank you for your comments. Right. Okay, what information can you give about the Child Rights Act? Okay, let me give you a little bit of background as to what the Child Rights Act is and the laws and the rules that it contains. And one of the reasons why it is important for every state to sign the Child Rights Act. For example, if a child is abused, sexually abused, and you have not signed, or the state has not signed the Child Rights Act, which would have prescribed, say, a number of years for what kind of abuse. There is abuse, there's touching. For abuse, there is penetration. So for abuse, there's laceration. Some, they call it assault. It's not particularly abuse. It's not rape yet. So there are so many different things that it could be. Now, the Child Rights Act of 2003 simply states the right of a child to free, to compulsory, and to universal primary education. The right of a child with special needs to have basic things. Now, some of them, the right to an identity, part of it, the right to health, part of it, the right to education, part of it, the right to a family life. That's why in developed countries, you see them take the step to make sure their children are placed in a family system. So whether the child's parent is alive, or sometimes even when the parents are misbehaving, every child belongs to the Queen, for example, in England, and that child could be taken away from the parents and put in a home, and from there it could be given to other people. It could be given to parents, other parents, who will be paid a stipend to take care of that child. So children actually belong to the government. You are the one that bettered your child. Yes, I know you went through pregnancy for 9 months, but do you know that your child belongs to the government? That's why when every child, any child, is abused in Lagos, the Lagos State government is quick to jump on the matter because the child is actually theirs. So the Lagos State government picks up that child and takes over the issue. So even when the parents say, we are not prosecuting the abuser of our child, the Lagos State government goes ahead to prosecute the person because the Lagos State government is actually the owner of the child. So the government owns children, not particularly just parents. You have a right to your child, but the government has bigger rights, legal rights to your child until that child clocks the age of 18. So between the time you add your baby all the way, pregnancy, completely yours, no rule. Pregnancy, totally, 100% yours, no rule. But the moment that child is born and you register the birth of that child, and is registered, it carries a name, the government knows the child has been born, the child becomes the legal property of the government. So if anything happens to that child, parents can be prosecuted by the government. Society would say it's two children or two families that are fighting. One child was abused and the other belongs to a family friend. So the next thing they say, we're withdrawing the case from the police. We no longer want to prosecute. Sorry for you, because that child belongs to the government. The government will prosecute both the family and you for refusing to prosecute that case. So you cannot say ultimately that 100% of rights belongs to you guys. All right, all children must be protected from war and its consequences, such as being a refugee, being injured, being a prisoner, or forced into armed conflict. That's a right to be protected from armed conflict. It's one of the rights of a child. That's for the person who asks for what the rights, Child Rights Act, what it contains. All right, the right to be protected from exploitation. That's another one. The right to be protected from exploitation is another one. A child should not be obliged to work in difficult or dangerous conditions in order to survive or support his family. The right to equality and respect for differences. Each child has the same right, regardless of his race, color, religion, language, or culture, gender, or abilities. That's another right. The right to be protected. That's why when you see a child that is being used as house help, or a slave, and NACON catches you, or the Human Rights Commission in Nigeria catches you, sorry, straight to jail, because the National Human Rights Commission or NACON itself, they are all there to protect children. So I pity those who take children from the north, take them to the south for house help, and you say, we need a model. They go bring you a 7, 8, 9-year-old to come and work for you, and you expect that 8, 9-year-old to cook, to wash, to clean your house, clean your children. Some even go to the extent of not allowing that 9-year-old to use the same toilet as them because they see them as filth. Sorry for you. That child belongs to the government. If you are reported by anybody, neighbor, family, friend, whoever, to the government, you are going to jail. So if a child is brought to you and you do not have the express permission, written permission of the parents, that is called child trafficking. If the parents did not give you the express permission to keep their child, my people, it is called trafficking. And if you traffic somebody's child, Bikono, you're on your way to jail. Because at the end of the day, I paid the person who brought the child 50,000 naira. Can they buy your own child for 50,000 naira? Can somebody pay you 50,000 to let your child go and work for them for 1 year? Would you agree to that? So whatever you can allow happen to your child is the same thing that you should allow happen to any child that is brought to your premises. If you know anyone who is in the habit of bringing children, underage children, to people to come work for them from whichever part of the country, and you are harboring, keeping such information to yourself, you are also a criminal, and you are one of the people encouraging such crime to continue. So please get ready to be caught by the government, because the day they find that child in your house, you will cough up the person who brought the child to you, and before you know what is happening, you all are going to jail together. Do me a favor, please do not flash the line. Do not flash the line. If you're finding it difficult to call, just send a text message or a WhatsApp message to the same number, 08064738133. Another right of a child is the right to education. All children have the right to an education and access to skills which will help them prepare for their future. No wonder the out-of-school children is increasing in Nigeria, because parents just refuse to send their children to school. Primary school is free. If it's not completely free, sometimes all you need to do is to get the school uniform for your child. And I cannot say that it's so difficult for anyone who really wants their child to go to school to get a simple school uniform for that child. School uniform. Children carry their books on their head and go to school like that without school bag. Children wear slippers to school. And it would not be today or tomorrow. That's why you have House of Representative members, House of Assembly members, who also can do their bid to make sure that out-of-school packages are given to children when they are returning to school at the beginning of every term or at the beginning of every session. Buy school bags, buy school sandals, give it to them. Buy exercise books, give it to them. Don't print on it. Don't print your color or your logo on it and say donated by. Just buy the regular ones that are available on the street and give it to them, because you are contributing to making sure Nigeria tomorrow is not sitting on a keg of gunpowder. You are making sure that our country would survive the next generation if you educate a child today. A child has rights to health. So you're that parent, your child was abused, you keep the child in the house, you wash the child very well, you bathe the child, you say, don't worry, God will punish the person that did this to you. And you forget that there is a general hospital down the road, down the street, 2 houses away, 2 blocks away, in fact, 10 streets away, in fact, 2 communities away, that you can take that child to for proper health check, for proper treatment, to arrest whatever has happened to the child immediately. You cover it up, you are abusing your child. Children have rights to sound health. If your child is abused in Lagos, go to the Mirabel Center. It's the center inside of the Lagos State Teaching Hospital, or you go to any general hospital close to you. They have them scattered all over Nigeria. Tertiary hospitals are available. They have centers where they can check if your child has been abused. Imagine the woman who had twins, a girl and a boy, 2-year-old twins, that were abused by their uncles, a 16-year-old and a 19-year-old, also children themselves, in the same house. Imagine that she kept it to herself. She didn't take those children to the hospital. She wouldn't have known that a 2-year-old boy has been sodomized and penetrated, for that matter. A 2-year-old boy. She wouldn't have known that the hymen of a 2-year-old girl had been broken. She wouldn't have known. Our children would have continued to endure the abuse from when they are 2 all the way till they become teenagers. And what do you think will happen? Children who are abused serially tend to always become abusers themselves in future, because it looks as if it is normal. Then you normalize abuse for such children. So if you are in the habit of not allowing your child voice out things to you, or not allowing your child have access to proper health care, I'm sorry, you are abusing your child. I hope that has answered your question for the person who did ask, what are the rights to a child? Let me take a quick commercial break. Genesis Global, Prophet Israel Oladile Ogudipe will be back here with us in the studio this night, live in MITV. So 10 p.m. tonight, you get to watch him live on MITV. So if you're one of those people looking forward to seeing Genesis on this station, you need to join us at 10 p.m. And what is he talking about? There is a branch of Genesis Global that will be opening just round the corner to us here at Ikeja. Let's look at that commercial. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. Of course, we're coasting close to home today. And of course, let me bring you updates. A lot of people have just been sending messages. You want to know what is happening in Abuja as we speak. Okay, as we speak right now, the counting is being done at the APC presidential primary, and we cannot tell you for sure who is topping the list, but we can tell you that it's between the vice president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, and the national leader of the party, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So between the two of them, we would know who will emerge in the next couple of hours. Our counting is being done. I said now it's per state. It was voted per state, and of course, it's being sorted per state, and it's being voted, it's being counted per state as well. So they will tabulate that, and they will let you and I know in the next couple of hours who has, okay? And they will tell you who exactly has emerged winner of the primary election, and who the candidate of the APC will be. I'll see you again tomorrow morning on the Bumper Breakfast. Thank you for joining us. And don't forget, life is too short. Go get your PVC. Enjoy life. Make sure you participate in the scheme of things, and make sure you protect yourself. Have a beautiful day.